Okay? So what we're going to do now, I want you to bend the elbows so your trunk's parallel to the floor. Good. We want the elbows turned back and in. The reason is we don't want the pec minor getting involved. Watch what happens when he turns his elbows out. Just let him go out. So as a person gets tired, they'll turn their elbows out and they create a closed kinetic loop through the floor. So in order to increase the stability, they will push inward and fire the pecs off. And what that does is it gives them an opportunity to get away from the triceps. The triceps don't like being in that position because the triceps don't like stabilizing activity. So you have to put them in the position to force the muscles to work around the shoulder properly. As soon as those elbows come out, then you're going to facilitate the very pathway that's part of the compensation pattern for the shoulder. Now, ideally, I would not have done this with him until I checked the length-tension relationships of all the muscles involved. So if he's got tight hip flexors, tight hamstrings, tight pec minor, any of those things, I would have had him stretch those first. The reason is, you will not be able to make a correction in any postural misalignment. So if your scapula is held forward due to an imbalance in the muscles, and you think that you can fix that by strengthening the scapular retractors and depressors, you're dreaming. And all you got to do is look at scientific back training. The research Yonda did's right in there to show you, and that works for every part of the body, not just the low back. Once you have a facilitated pathway, you cannot shut the pathway off. So if his pec minor is short and tight and facilitated, it will neurologically rob all the energy from those stabilizers, or a significant amount of it. So no matter how much I exercise these scapular stabilizers to say to improve his scapulothoracic mechanics and timing, it won't fix the problem. It'll actually make it worse. Every time he tries to fire these muscles, the pec minor will fire with equal intensity. So all it does is increases the overall resting tone in the muscles, but the imbalance stays the same. If you got a muscle joint complex that's out of balance, and you increase tone, does that make the thing better or worse? It makes it worse, because it puts more compression, torsion, and shear into the system. So you've always got to normalize length-tension relationships first before you strengthen. Otherwise, you make the problem worse. So assuming that we've got his diet straightened out, he's working on that, we know which stretches to do, now we put him down. Okay? So all I want you to do is resist me. Don't let me move you. Okay? So I can push on him, and what I'm doing is I'm just paying attention to how he takes a load through his body.